On the bench today, we have the Guild D25 1978. Bridge came off 15 years ago and it hasn't been strung. It's got a big crack right here. But none of the bracing seems to be a problem. All the braces seem to be glued in real good. There's some lacquer missing in front of the bridge. And I'm going to really be best if I fill that in now and scrape it and sand it smooth before I glue the bridge back on. It'd be a lot easier repair if I do that now. I'm going to take a little amber super glue and just kind of see what it does to the color there where the lacquer is missing. Looks like it's a little bit lighter. Really should fill it in. And this black stuff is what it is. Maybe a little sandpaper. Get all that black grungy stuff cleaned off that's on the front edge of the bridge. So I need to fill in all this missing lacquer. I could use lacquer, sure could, but I want to get started on this right now. Get it ready. So take this cherry marker first of all and see if I can make it look a little darker. Not too dark. A little darker than the existing isn't going to kill anybody, because there'll be a shadow. See, that area looks too dark again. I'm going to take a little super glue. Hopefully this will get us in the ballpark of having enough lacquer in front of the bridge. There might still be a little gap here and there. There might be places where we need to scrape away, but there are, I'm going to scrape all this away, and there's a lot of areas around there. This all comes off right in that area. So I'll, after the super glue dries, I'll set the bridge back on there, scribe the line around it, and then scrape it clean. Alright, so this is just kind of where I'm at after a 400 grit. See, I filled in that place with the missing lacquer. I'm going to continue sanding. 1000 grit wet sanded. See, it's starting to look a little better. After I wet sanded it with 1500 grit, I'm back at it with the coarse polishing compound. because the wet sanding kind of it just gums up all the dirt, the water. See that dirt? It's bad stuff. Dirty stuff. Try this cherry marker right here around the sound hole. So the bridge is getting a little closer. Chipped away this area. I just used this little chisel-y thing. And now I gotta clean off the bottom of this. Try not to take off too much wood, because someone shaved it a little bit already, it seems.
And 4 hours later, we'll see what happens.
These are them old shop fox clamps. I couldn't see paying the money to get those ibex ones. They seemed about the same thing. But I couldn't tell you for sure if those ibex clamps are the same thing, because I've never had one. Anyways, these seem to work real good. That's what it should look like. I did get the new saddle made. It's in the ballpark of a 12-inch radius. Got some of the top cleaned off. Got the frets. Well, I clamped her on down yesterday and everything seemed to work okay. These clamps I used on the edges, they have a little foot on the bottom, which is real nice because there's an X brace that runs this way, and that little foot is really nice for getting right up close to that. And then these little cauls I made on the tabletop belt sander. It's a little sander that's attached to the I guess a bench grinder, so that it pushes right down on the edges. This clamp worked great in the middle to apply firm pressure onto this here caul, which also has a little radius to it. That way it pushes down on the front and the back real good. And then same thing on this side, a little piece of waxy paper to protect the top. Same thing on the treble side. piece of wood to protect for that stabilizer foot. These were waxed with the carnauba wax ahead of time, so they didn't stick too much, I hope. Ooh, that one stuck a little bit. No worries. Alright. I might go in here and touch this up a little bit. All in all, it's a fine looking job right there. It could pass as is right here. I'll probably put in a little lacquer around the edges. See, these all need re-drilled now, which is good. I built a little saddle yesterday that fits perfect. I love that. And decided to go with instead of bone, this black tusk is maybe even a superior product than bone. It's more consistent in its density, and I already fit that into place. I think it's going to work out great. It looks more masculine too. Alright, I got a little batch of kind of an opaque cherry red lacquer. I'm just going to paint it along the edge with my little brush. This is a itty bitty little brush. Probably only has about 10 hairs. That'll close up this little seam between the old lacquer and the bridge. I think it'll look nice. It might require 2 coats in areas. But this is just nitro lacquer with a little opaque red pigment and a little bit of red mahogany liquid stain. Only takes about an hour to dry.